we're out here and we're clearing invasive buckthorn and honeysuckle plants and burning them to try and give the native plants an opportunity to sprout and grow in the springtime.
Our work days are about saving this oak woodland, getting more sunlight to the ground floor, getting the herbaceous layer healthy and growing, and also our oak trees. Unfortunately, we have no regenerative oak trees in this woodland in particular because there's too much shade from the honeysuckle and buckthorn.
One of the key problems is that we've suppressed a natural process over the last many decades known as fire. And fire used to keep a lot of these forests in this area clean from the underbrush, clean from invasive species.
We're basically saving this forest for future generations. I've been hiking in these woods for 30 years, and I've seen how these invasive species have really taken over and choked out the woods. So it's important that we come in here and remove them so that the oak trees and ash trees and other trees that are native to this area can start to grow and replace these big trees as they die.
This was my playground as a child. I came out here with my dad. We tobogganed at Fabyan on the hill. We walked through the Japanese garden. I rode my bike through here almost every day, and this place is near and dear to my heart. So one day I was driving by about 10 years ago and realized that nothing was being done out here at the Forest Preserve. So I called them and asked if I could help. And they said, let's talk about it. And the next thing I know, I was made the site steward of Fabyan Preserve. And it's a slippery slope. There's a lot of work to be done. It's 200 acres, but I love it. I wouldn't give up this time for anything, and I've made a lot of friends that I never would have met.
There's multiple reasons why it's important to come out here. One is it helps make the volunteers, I think, especially a lot of the high school groups and some of the first-time volunteers. Part of it, I think, is to connect with the community. You know, there are a lot of wide variety of people out here.
There's a disconnect between our nature and our people in too many instances. People think that nature can take care of itself. The old adage, let nature take its course, is a really bad adage because nature doesn't know how to take care of itself. It's always been evolving with people. And by bringing people out, and especially kids, we get a lot of high school kids come out. When I teach them about why they're out here and why it's important for the work that they're doing, they become tree huggers and they become stewards of our environment. They're also connecting with nature, and a lot of kids, in particular high school kids, are not connecting with nature anymore. So they're truly the beneficiary.
Although they've done a lot, there's a lot more to do here, and it's a constant effort. I mean, this is something that people are going to have to be doing for forever, really.
So far, out of the 200 acres that's considered the oak woodland of Fabyan Preserve, we've cleared 40. It doesn't sound like a lot, but for volunteers on a Saturday for 3 hours a day, every other week, that's actually a tremendous amount of work that we've done. Now this season, what we're doing is we're going back and we're recutting the resprouts of what we had cut that didn't get killed outright from the herbicide from the first time we cut it. So we're following up our work to make sure that what we've done previously stays done.
This is a beautiful stretch of woods that a lot of people use, I think a lot more than we realize, and to protect them and again, make them available for future generations is important.
We've been out here for about 6 years now. And a typical work day goes for 3 hours from 9 to noon. Primarily we work from October 1st until the following spring of May 1st. And the reason we do that is that the leaves are off the trees. It's easier to cut the trees down and move them and stack them, but it's also the things that we're trying to save are dormant. And so having 20, 30, 50, 100 people out here, which I've had on a work day, they do a lot of trampling, and it doesn't do us any good to trample what we're trying to protect. So if someone wanted to learn more about the Fabyan Preserve work days, they can either contact myself, Jay Womack. My email address is jay.womack@gza.com, or they can contact Rob Cleve with the Kane County Forest Preserve District. He's the volunteer coordinator, and he can get them my contact information or tell them when our work days are.
Join us, it's awesome, it's great. On a beautiful winter morning like this, there's no better thing to be doing.